Hello and welcome to another Fresh Off the Stalls. Slightly spacey background. It's not like you've not seen this before, but it's all got a bit Barbarella here tonight at Shiz Grumpy Gay Critic. And there's a reason for that, because I've been to see Stasis at the White Bear Theatre by Encompass Productions. And it's rather spacey. I was asked to come to this. Actually, I knew this was going on because they had a sort of preview thing at the end of their last Beer Essentials. And I'm thinking, like, this is quite exciting because there just isn't that much sci-fi theatre, if you think about it, really. Says the man who has recently praised Return to the Forbidden Planet. But I think that's a different thing. I think we don't have a lot of theatre that is very much sci-fi. Yes, we probably have sci-fi. There's probably been a sci-fi retelling of Shakespeare. I mean, what haven't we done when retelling Shakespeare? But yeah, just a piece of purposely written sci-fi theatre, and that to me is quite exciting in itself. And without any more prattle, let's get actually on to the show itself. So, I'm going to get the negatives out of the way first, because there is so much good to talk about this show. Don't know why I paused there. There's so much good to talk about this show, and I want to get the negatives out of the way first. And also because the main negative is something that you will notice as soon as you walk into the auditorium at the White Bear. And that is the set. Now, I don't really like moaning about the set for fringe shows, because especially with fringe shows, there's a very limited amount of resources and money that can be put into things like set. But at the same time, okay, so the set design, the actual design by Sarah Buller, or Buller, I don't know, that guy, or girl, or Sarah, I think the design's really good. It conjures up the inside of a spaceship. There's nice little nooks and things which are played around in the direction, especially with lighting, as well. I think the design is great. I think the execution does leave a lot to the imagination. It might be more sort of like thin MDF or something, but it looks a bit like cardboard painted over with poster paints and with some things of cut polystyrene put onto them. I don't want to draw comparisons with productions that I did back at school, but I just have. And yeah, I feel kind of bad about moaning about set for fringe productions, because there's clearly a money and a resource issue here. But it's gotten to the point where I think with this, you walk in and it just doesn't look great. I'm just going to say it does not look great in its execution. As I said, the design is fine. Ironically, this is Encompass Productions, who do Beer Essentials, who do amazing things without for new pieces of short writing, without any set at all. So I don't know. But that really is the only bad thing I can say about it, and I do feel a little uncomfortable about it. Uncomfortable bringing that up as a negative, because for starters, there's so much else that's great about the show. And yes, there's also that irony about them also doing Beer Essentials. But yeah, I'm just going to leave that there. I don't think I can say much more about it. It doesn't look great. I think they should have gone with probably doing something a bit more beer, a bit more abstract, because, and I'll get onto them now with a major positive, the writing is absolutely amazing. It is one of the best new pieces of writing I have seen this year. Not just, and I've seen a lot of short stuff, and I said a lot of great things about new short writing, but this is the first thing, I don't think for a while, a full-length play has arrested me in the way that this has. And therefore I kind of think that it could have absolutely been done with no set whatsoever, because the writing is so good that it doesn't really need the set. In fact, despite as off-putting as the set looks when you first walk in, you almost kind of forget it. And actually you almost don't mind it towards the end, because you're actually so involved in what the actual going on, so involved of the narrative, so involved of the writing itself, that everything else becomes very much irrelevant almost. I say almost because there's parts where they interact with bits of the set, and there's parts where you still need to be reminded, but yes, we are on a spaceship. But yeah, the writing is just amazing. It's a sci-fi piece, so spaceships, but it's not kind of like, hey, I'm going to shoot you with my phaser, or anything like Barbarella with boobs. It's actually there's a lot of boobs in Barbarella. I love that film. Anyway, back to this. It's a piece that looks at isolation, at guilt, so very much sort of at being human, as it were, especially when offset against computers and sentient, almost, maybe not, holograms and things like that. So it prizes a really sort of deep and touching humanity from it as well. And there's also kind of a sort of subplot of sabotage, which is actually quite interesting and also a bit thrilling at the same time. It's a very, I want to say personal. If I say it's a personal piece, it sounds like something very much about Emily Hollyoak has gone for. I'm not suggesting that, but I just mean it's a very personal piece, in that it certainly is something that you can very easily connect with and really emote with. I did actually cry. I'm being serious. I actually got. I've managed now to, if I'm crying in the theatre, to not sob loudly like I can do, and my friends will attest to that. But my cheeks were more than a little damp, and I am talking about the ones on my face. It's a really great. So it's that the whole sort of sabotage subplot adds a great deal of mystery and a bit of tension, but there is this intense look at just being alive. The choices you make, and how you relate to other living people, that is just so heartbreaking. It's so tear-jerking, it's so devastating. I'm going to throw every bloody adjective I can at that. I absolutely loved it. The rest of the production is really great. I really have to mention the music, which is by, let's take a look, Alex Burnett. Burnett, probably, not Burnett. I know. If it Burnett, whatever you prefer, Mr. Alex. It's almost like a film score, and this is the main thing I got from this. It feels a bit more like a film than it does a play, and that's not necessarily a negative thing. It's just got this wonderful soundtrack that goes through the entire thing. Some great music. I mean, I suppose there's a whole thing about, our theatres coming before more like films. This is about 90 minutes. There is an underscore to it. I don't really care. It just makes it's applied well. So it's applied so well here, but that doesn't really matter. It just makes for a great piece of entertainment, whether you find it more filmic than theatrical or not. That's something that certainly sticks with you as well, and you really get that. Some wonderful music applied very, very, very subtly, very emotively, and very complimentary. Not in here, have the CD for free, but if you can get me a free CD of the music, I'd be very happy. No pressure. Yeah, it really does complement the entire play. The rest of the direction, I think, is really good. The only thing I can really pick at it, I think some of the bits where they're sort of like, oh, we're moving through time, everyone's doing fast forward things, it didn't really just work. I'm not sure if it was just the actors having an off night, or if it's just because it's such a tiny space at the White Bear, it doesn't look convincing that close up. That's the only thing I didn't really like about it. It wasn't a major thing. That's me being pernickety now. Yeah, I think they made really great use of the space. Kind of used it all, and as I said, there's the things, the little nooks and the little surprises in the set design itself as well. Cast. So I'm going to start with Naomi Stafford as Wren. I didn't find it that convincing at the beginning, and because I think she was trying to get across that she was she's not as smart as the rest of the crew that she's stowed away on the ship of. Is that a sentence that makes sense? She's not as smart as the crew upon the ship for which she has stowed away on. That's better. I think she plays it at the start a bit too childishly, and I think that's just my opinion. Though I just felt I didn't find it that convincing at the beginning. But she really grows into this sort of very sort of sweet, compassionate adult. Which becomes really heartbreaking at the end of it. So by the end of it, I really loved Naomi Stafford's performance. It was just very, very human. I'm saying human a lot here, and I think it's because it's human v technology at some points. Blah blah blah. I'm not going to give too much away, but I absolutely must say, where's the name gone of the thing? Blah 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 blah. Bear with me a moment. Yes, Carradine Smith as the hologram, brilliant. Again, started off a little inconvincingly as the hologram, sort of like teetered on, did very much a sort of the very sort of inert exterior of a hologram possibly could be very well. But she was amazing as a character actor, becoming the personalities of all the crews in Stasis. That was brilliant, really great. And at the end of it, the wonderful different stage dynamics that both Keridin and Naomi had between each other, whereas Keridin as all the different characters, was really great. And I think even by the end with just the hologram and Ren, there was a real bond, and that was part of why it was just so heartbreaking and upsetting. I really love this show. I had high hopes because I really wanted to see sci-fi done well in theatre. And apart from the set, I should stop prattling on about that. I've made my point already. The writing is excellent, and it was really surprising. Go see this, absolutely. Be surprised. Have your ideas challenged what sci-fi in theatre can be. Thank you very much again, Encompass Productions, and then also especially to Emily Hollyoak, who has done an amazing job at writing this play. I'm going to leave you now because I don't want to gobble on too much, and I also want to enjoy my cider, which I got from Somerset last week. I don't know why I've mentioned this. Is nice. I've got to stop drinking my videos. It makes me look like some sort of alcoholic. Some sort of alcoholic. Yes. Anyway, bye!